Everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I am bringing you the fourth layout in our series, and I will be scrapbooking a double page layout that will have a lot of photos from our Thanksgiving. So I pulled out a lot of like Thanksgiving type embellishments, which I will just kind of go through. I have some bows and things and some enamel hearts and just some miscellaneous things out of my stash that are Thanksgiving related. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward, and we will see how this takes us, and I'll be right back. So the first thing I did when I started out was to take and decide what was going to be my two background photo or papers. So I decided to go with the green and the yellow polka dot, and I'm just going to kind of do one of my normal go-to two-page designs. So the first thing I did was I took the sunflower paper, which I want to kind of be my focal paper, if you want to call it that, and I cut it 1 inch off of there, so now it's a 12 by 11, and then I cut it at 5 inches so that I can put 5 inches on the left side, and then the remaining part of the 12 inches over onto the right side. This kind of brings that, if you have only one piece of paper, pattern paper, it brings that same pattern across. And by doing this, I'm now tying the green in together, the gold and yellow together, and I'm bringing that sunflower across to both sides. I did grab my corner rounder and I rounded off the edges just to give it a little bit of interest for the layout. Now I'm taking the black gingham and I cut it down to 2.5 inches, and I took my banner punch and just did a flag at each corner, and I'm going to run that as a band across. Now the next thing I do is I'm just taking all the photos and I'm just kind of figuring out what photos I want, how many horizontal, how many vertical I have, and kind of moving them around. Now for me, whenever I'm doing kind of a two-page layout like this, I tend to put the important pictures to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left, like if you were reading a book. So you're going to see that I have family photos over on the left. I have a photo of my daughter, her husband, and the 3 grandkids that I cut down to about 5 inches high. And then, or maybe I did cut it down to 4. I think I did 4. And then I have the 2 4x6 photos. One is of the kids and their significant others with the grandkids, and then below it, my husband and I are also in the picture, so it's the full family. Then I'm going to go and put what I call the supporting photos over on the right hand side. So there's a picture of my son and his fiance. I cut those down to be a 5 inches tall by 4 inches wide. They hosted Thanksgiving this year, so I wanted to make them kind of the feature on that page. And you're going to see me struggle. I end up not realizing that I had them too far over, and so I have this gap for the photos, and you're going to see where I'm going to try and move them over and try and make the spacing between them better. And I fixed it in the end. I end up having to move over the left hand side, but yeah, I do struggle a little bit with my ATG. And so I did have this photo of me and the newest grandson, and I didn't like how it had all of the blank space on the left hand side, so I trimmed off more, and when I did it, I already had adhesive on it. It fell on my other picture that I had with all the kids, and I couldn't get the adhesive off. I can reprint it, but it was kind of made me mad. So I had another one that was of the kids that we did a selfie. I just want to make sure that I had Dylan and Preston in there, and then I have the one of the newest baby Carter up above. So it's not the photo I wanted. It's still a good photo, and it still works out. So now I'm just kind of adhering it down, and again, you're going to see where all of a sudden I realize the spacing that I have between the left-hand side and the right-hand side is kind of what I thought was too much. So I tried to pull the picture of my son and his fiance over, and when I got hers picture up, you could tell where the paper ripped and there was no covering it up. So I moved those back, and then I went and tried to move the pictures of the family and give it a bigger space between the edge so it matched the right hand side. So it's all worked out. Now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that down, and now all of my photos are adhered. So then the next thing I'm going to do is start going through all the embellishments and just trying to figure out what I wanted to use. Now I thought about using that homemade enamel phrase when I had actually put the kit together, but because there's no pictures of really us eating in here, there's a couple pictures with the food from where Kevin's carving the turkey, but it really just didn't fit, so I scrapped that idea, and I ended up going with more of like the Simple Stories chipboard, which I'm happy to get some of that used up. I also grabbed the word thankful, which I believe was a cut apart from Jen Hatfield, or possibly came from Auburn Lane's die cuts. I grabbed the circle that was from Nicole Jones Cut Apart, and you're going to see I'm going to kind of move everything around. So this cluster here up above, I decided I want that branch going across, and it fills in that little gap. And then I'm going to go ahead and tuck the word thankful over there, and I grab one of the cork um, leaves that are from Freckled Fawn, and I'm going to put that over there. I take the circular chipboard from the Simple Stories that says Give Thanks, and I'm just going to put that on top of the Nicole Jones Cut Apart, and I find another tag in brown that I'm going to have going off of that. I grabbed the large Simple Stories square that said Thankful and Blessed, and that's going to make up my third cluster. Now I'm just kind of building off of it. So I like the word family, but it was blending into the gold. So I grabbed another one of Nicole's cut aparts, and it had the orange label. I'm going to put that, the family, on it along with that green bow below. And now I'm just taking some of the leaves that were on the chipboard pack, and I'm just going to sprinkle those along with the cork leaves that I had from Freckled Fawn. And I'm just kind of maneuvering them around to get them to fit in. And then I did have a gold heart that I had found, and then this heart that is like a button, that's a wood button that I'm actually going to go ahead and put over there as well. So now I'm just going to start gluing everything down. I like where everything's at, and I'm just going to adhere it. So this is, like I said, this is probably one of my go-to designs for when I have a lot of pictures and I want to just go and scrapbook like one event. And when they're in the book, they really don't look the same because you're using different papers. It really lends to the design, and you just have to remember to kind of carry it across your page so that you can see things, you know, the yellows on both sides, the greens on both sides. And it's a fun way of getting, you know, a large event scrapbooked. Now I still do have pictures that I will scrapbook, like the one of my grandkids that got the glue on it. I'll reprint that, and I have a couple others, but I probably only have enough to do maybe one more page, and which is nice that I'm not doing a whole series of layouts for Thanksgiving. I can get it all set on one layout. Now I grabbed these Simple Stories little stickers. I found the little squirrel I thought was cute, so I put him on. Off camera, I am going to put another like a square squirrel up above the Thankful and Blessed, so you won't see this on here, but you'll probably see it if you watch my layout share tomorrow. And then I also found a tab that said Grateful that I put on. I'm now going to go through and find some enamel hearts. I'm going to sprinkle those around and also get those bows on. And that's going to be it. It's turned out to be really simple. I have a lot of phrase stickers that are saying just like Thanksgiving type things. And that is it for my layout. I want to thank you so much for stopping by. Check out the video tomorrow. We will have the fifth and last for this week, and I also will have my Friday Fun Finds where I'll show these up close again. Thanks and have a great day.